So recently on the Edge website and YouTube members section, we did a really interesting video about jigger fishing and then the intricacies of feeding, why, when, the depths, all the things that you look for to put a big weight together on a jigger. And we went through different types of rig that you might use for shallow fishing. There's loads of detail in there. One thing I want to show you guys so you can get a taste of what it's all about, and anyone who missed it on the video, is my jigger rig in super close-up detail, because it's really straightforward. And I'll tell you how straightforward it is. This top kit, I literally put this jigger rig on this top kit about 6 months ago, and all I ever do is change the hook length whenever I want to go jigger fishing, because it's one of the short top kits, which is a great starting point, because I think when you're fishing shallow, a short top kit is a real advantage. You have almost what seems like the perfect length of these hybrid style elastics. This is an 11 Dura slip in there, which is just, I've got to be honest, it's just absolutely perfect. It comes steaming out of the pole when you catch one shallow. It tightens up because there isn't a massive length, 1 or 2 pulls and the fish are just coming up here to net. If you watch the video, you'll see me catch some massive F1s and literally netting them. It's ridiculous how fast you can get them in. So once you've got your rig on the kit itself, one thing I like to do with my jigger rig is a long length of line, okay? I think there is a place for shorter lengths of line and turning them over, especially if you're catching like 200, 300 pound. I think that you could do it all a lot more compact, flip it over. But this is my rig that always comes out of the box. Doesn't matter, even if I don't think it's going to be a shallow day, I'll have this rig set up because it'll be ready to go. And the reason I think it's better set up on your top kit is because it keeps all my line nice and straight. When I take it off, it hasn't got any kinks or bends from a winder on it, which I think for jigging is really important. I think having your line nice and straight is important. So I've got 020 main line on here, all right? So a very durable main line, nice and thick, something that isn't gonna let me down. I can use it for probably 20 sessions because I'm only ever gonna have an 012 to 016 hook length on. So it'd only ever be the hook length that would let me down. I don't want the line here rubbing against the jigger or against the net letting me down. So that's very important. And I've got about 4 foot of line, which means I can cover anything from 6 inches to 4 foot. So onto the line, I've actually put some of these rubber stops, okay? Now these rubber stops have got a nice flat edge on them. They're black, they're visible. I always like a large stop if I can, because I want to be able to actually see the stop. And I know that sounds daft, but I like almost following where I am, going up and down. So today, a lot of the fish where I've been going, the fish have all been really shallow. They've been within 18 inches. So I've got this stop actually set at 18 inches. So I don't almost waste any time. But if I want to do some searching, I can just literally slide that rubber stop up the line to say 2.5 foot, 3 foot, even right up to the stop. So I could search the whole depth of water to try to find where the fish are, and then literally just tweak the position of the rubber stop to suit where the fish are on a given day. Like I said today, they're about no more than 18, 20 inches deep. So I've got it set about 20 inches, 18 inches, something like that. You can adjust that and do it, and you have to be on the ball. Don't forget, it's really clear here where I'm fishing at Hayton Lake. So obviously a lot of the time the fish can drop deeper, so don't be scared to do that. Now I've also got a stop underneath, because I've found when I want to perfect this, what I don't want to do is I don't want to almost slide down to the weight. Because I've got a 6-inch hook length, which I'm going to get onto in a minute, I found that I'm not really getting any bites in that first 6 inches. I almost want to bypass that, and I don't want to lift the float out of the water. So I've got that actually set at 10 inches deep. All right, so basically my jigger can slide anywhere from 20 inch to 10 inch. It's almost like I'm like just searching that, what I'm going to say, corridor of where the fish are. And I know when I'm shallow fishing, we used to have rigs 10 inch, 15 inch, 20 inch, and I would swap between them. Now I've got one rig that is almost permanently searching that amazing corridor.
If you love your fishing and you love your fishing videos and you want to get better at fishing, there are 2 places where you can watch all the detailed fishing videos we produce. First of all, the website, www.anglingedge.co.uk. Masses of detail in these videos. You get, when you sign up, all of the new videos and all of the old videos. There's a method, a tactic, a venue for everybody there. Plus, you now get all of that content on YouTube. You can join, click that button just there, join our membership. There you get all the same content, all those new videos, all those old videos. You'll learn loads because along the journey, we've learned loads too.
Where all the fish are a lot of the time. And again, if I felt the fish were like 18 inch to 3 foot, I would just adjust those rigs so I could slide to suit. Now, I'm a big fan of a heavy jigger. I've got a Preston, one of the Preston ones on here. It takes about 0.3 of a gram. All right, so like actually it takes about 0.35 of a gram if I'm being perfectly honest. And a lot of the time, like today, I'll put like a 0.3 Olivet there and then just hold it in place with 2 either 10s or 9s, something like that. Now, for a lot of people that may seem quite big, but for me, I think that's really important. I actually love a nice heavy jigger. I won't fish anything less than this because I like to do a lot of open water style shallow fishing, and I'll even use jiggers up to 0.6 if I really wanted to fish in like 2.5 to 4 foot of water. I won't hesitate to put a heavier one on, and again that would have then like a 0.5 Olivet with a couple of shot on it just to take it to 0.6. If I was allowed to overshot, I wouldn't even hesitate to make this say a 0.4 on this 0.3, so it actually almost gets down to there and you almost just watch it almost go under the water slightly and you can just pick it back up and then repeat the process. But the reason that's so important is because what happens is I've found for experience that this 6-inch hook length is a little bit nicer and there's a little bit of movement there. So if I actually unhook this from here, you can almost see that every time I lift and drop, there's almost a bit of slack movement and a slower fall of this bait here. And it just gives that fish a little bit of a split second before it almost hooks itself against the bulk and hooks itself against my pole because everything's tight. If this is a light weight, then all this line wouldn't be kept tight and it wouldn't hook itself against the pole. If I was fishing really shallow on a little snake lake, I might have a tiny little jigger with 3 number 10s and have my line connected to my pole tip there. Then that's great because it'll still hook itself against the pole. But if you're going to have a longer length of line, you need that heavier rig. And then I've just got a 6-inch hook length there. Today I've got 0.14, an 18 GPM and a caster beautifully banded there. You can see just so the hook point is exposed and I'm going to wallop into my big F1s. So there it is, my simple jigger rig. If you want to go out and have a go jiggering, you need to subscribe to The Edge so you can look at exactly how to do the feeding and everything else. This is the rig itself. Hope you enjoy the videos and catch a few fish.